What is this, Mensa-wits? Cheese Mensas. It's cheese Mensas.
We're going to be mistaken for Mensa any week now.
And now, Cheese Wits.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, you fucking snowbird?
Well, not a snowbird yet.
No?
No, nothing started yet. The big snowstorm starts after 6 o'clock tonight.
Ooh.
The big snowstorm of 3 to possibly 6 inches of snow.
Ooh, that'll shut you all down for a week.
It really will.
Oh, hell yeah.
It really will.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have plows, but they only put them on the highway and the main roads, like where businesses are. They don't come into residential neighborhoods with them or anything.
That could mean some flooding for you all.
Yeah, right after everybody else dies on the highway because they try to drive in it. There's two kinds of people who try to drive in this weather in Tennessee. There's the northerners who say, I know how to drive in this. I'm not scared. And then they drive too fast for the conditions because they don't understand the roads haven't been treated like they get treated up north. And then there's the people who are terrified and don't know what they're doing and slam on their brakes and cause accidents.
But y'all from around here, are you?
Yeah.
What are northerners? People from Virginia? That's a northerner? Or real New Englanders or New Yorkers like you?
Northerners. The people who grew up driving in snow and think that therefore they can drive here. The problem is that the snow isn't going to last very long. It's the ice when the snow melts and then refreezes that's going to be the problem. The truth
is, though,
what?
Those northerners didn't know how to drive in the north either.
Well,
they sucked up here as well.
Yeah. That's true.
We have those same assholes here, and they've been driving it all their life.
That's true. But the problem up there is not the roads, it's the assholes. The problem here is the assholes and the roads combined.
Oh, it's twofold, I see.
It's a double problem.
It's a double mint. Remember that commercial? Double mint. They'd always show the twins.
Yeah.
Doing the double mint gum. How come they never showed ugly people?
Because ugly people don't chew peppermint gum, apparently. Apparently they all got bad teeth and they smell like stink shit.
Obviously, twins are never ugly.
No, you did not date what I dated in college, Jess.
Oh, you've talked about her.
Yeah.
I've known some ugly twins.
Miss Harry Nipple, 1993. So.
And as I remember, Miss Harry Nipple 93, her twin was also a hairy nipple.
That's correct. Pick again.
It was a run in the family situation.
Would you like to go for the bonus round where the points really can double?
I wonder. The hairy nipple comes from the father's side. I'm pretty sure.
Well, let's hope for their sake.
What are the sayings? What are the signs your daughter will have hairy nipples? Well, you have to look at the father's side for 3 generations back, and then you'll find out. If there were 2 balding men and one who wasn't bald, your daughter is inevitably going to have hairy nipples.
Wow.
And
when I was in Livonia, Michigan, that was actually the air name that I used.
Hairy nipples?
Hairy nipples. Hairy nipples with you, everybody.
Hey, look at it. I have my fireplace going.
Very nice. I can't have my fireplace going, which is a little distressing this weekend when the temperature's going down to like...
Why can't you have it going?
It's a whole thing.
Oh, it's a story. It's Chris. Just lean back for a minute. Go ahead, lean back, get in your easy chair. Go ahead, Jess.
It's a whole goddamn thing. So back in like September, I had a company. I made an appointment with a company to come inspect the chimney and everything to make sure it was good before winter. Sure. They didn't get here. They couldn't get here until November. I waited too long, and they were booked out until November. Beginning of November, they come out. Everything looks fine inside the house, but the chimney cap is damaged and not installed properly and rusted out and blah, 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 blah. And it's going to let water in and it's going to don't use the fireplace. This needs to be replaced. Okay, fine. Order the new chimney cap. 8 weeks later, 6 weeks later, whatever it is, they finally come back out and install the new chimney cap and discover that the pipe in the fireplace is butted up against one of the wooden roof rafters. So I still can't use it until they give me an estimate on what the fuck to do about that. Although I will say, if the power goes out and I have no heat, I will be using the fireplace and taking my chances.
Yeah, well, I have a question.
Okay.
The pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a metal pipe that goes the length of your chimney, or is it terracotta piping?
No, I think it's the metal flue pipe.
Well, that usually doesn't. I don't know. Just here. I'm just saying here. It's terracotta that's inside the chimney.
No,
so
they said this
chimney, and then the piping inside the chimney is terracotta.
No, they said this was metal. And maybe that's because it was built in the 80s. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is.
Possibly. Possibly they were dumber in the 80s.
It's quite possible. But I mean, this was built this way. I don't know how many times the people who lived here before used this, but this is not a new situation. So So like I said, if the power goes out and I have no heat, I will absolutely be putting a fire in the fireplace and hoping to God I don't burn the house down. Otherwise,
you won't.
I'll wait.
You won't.
It's just an annoyance.
Okay, I'm not going to give any advice just in case you do burn down the house. But no, it's probably you better hope it's a double-walled metal pipe.
I would hope, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They haven't gotten back. They were supposed to get back to me last week with a plan and estimate, and they didn't. And I imagine this is a busy time for them.
You didn't call a second company to have them take a look?
Not yet. Not until they give me an estimate.
I'm just going to say.
I will say my friend who owns an HVAC company was here because I woke up the day after Christmas without heat. So he had to come out and fix a thing. And I was telling him about it. And he said, if they try to charge you a shit ton of money, call me first before you do anything. So I don't know what he's going to do about it. But
yeah, how much was your roof? How much was your chimney cap?
Like $900.
Oy vey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they have to? Is it stainless and they had to handcraft it?
Custom made.
Yeah,
fitted to the chimney.
Too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have the chimney guy come and put a couple of bricks up there and lay a cement, small, like a 2-inch cement slab across it. Because that's all you really need.
How? Oh, you mean for the chimney cap?
Yeah. You just want to keep water out. That's all you need.
Okay.
You don't need the big screen in bullshit. That's just to keep birds out.
Well, I would appreciate keeping birds out and squirrels and fucking raccoons.
Yeah, because you don't want to cook them inside that chimney.
Well, not just that, but it gives them access to the attic. And my last place, I had both squirrels and raccoons destroy the attic.
God damn. I'm telling you what.
Fucking animals.
Jess, what does your shirt say?
Oh,
I'm the fucking lady?
I'm a fucking lady.
I'm a fucking lady.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to just blowjob.
Leave it to you to put the accent on the wrong word.
She's giving away a little more than she should be. I think. So I'm going to pass something on to you because listen, my daughter does not listen to this show and neither do her friends or anything. So what do you think of this situation?
Uh-oh. Hold on.
The
Let me
boss.
get comfortable.
The boss is sleeping with the hired help, not my daughter. She's much smarter than that. And that hired help became a manager. He was married while they were sleeping together. He got divorced right after his wife had a baby. And the worker who was made a manager, who works 2 days a week, is now in Mexico with the manager owner of the place.
It sounds like the manager owner and the worker are both fucking idiots.
Yeah. You think there's any impropriety there?
Whether there is or is not, that is a bad idea on every side. Because if he fucks over the worker like he's going to, because
of course he is,
because he cheated on his wife, he's going to cheat on her.
Of course he is.
When that happens, she's going to fuck with his business potentially.
Oh, it's a chain. It's a chain. It's a franchise.
Yeah, but she can fuck with the building.
She can fuck with the whole franchise.
She can fuck with everything.
Yeah, she can fuck with the whole franchise.
If she's that kind of vindictive person.
I felt the only way to get ahead was to sleep with him.
Right.
And I slept with him and gave head and got ahead.
Yep.
Wait a minute. What?
Oh, you didn't know that was the way to get ahead?
I didn't know you were giving
ahead in my life, Chris. I suck at most things. And that's
apparently, yeah. Good Lord.
You just have to be bad at everything, but good at sucking, and ahead you go.
Yeah, that sounds like a couple of dumbasses.
Oh yeah, I've been telling my my lovely daughter for a while. I said, you don't shit where you sleep.
Yeah,
you just don't. It's not only is it bad form, it's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bad fucking idea. That's all I can say about it. It makes so there is all kinds of hubbub going on at that office.
Yeah,
it's not an office. There's all kinds of hubbub going on.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad situation. And
yeah,
I agree. You don't shit where you sleep. I've got this fucking guy across the street who I don't even. He's a nice enough human, but he just annoys the shit out of me in general.
Yeah.
But one day I went over to let him know because there was nobody outside but his dog roaming around the front yard by himself.
No, that's fine.
So I went over and rang his doorbell and said, "Hey, just want to let you know your dog was out here." And he was like, "There is nobody better than you as a neighbor. There is nobody better." Okay, whatever. And he said, "Hey, can I get your phone number just, in case anything?" Yeah, sure. Exchange phone numbers. Well, actually, I gave him mine. He didn't give me his. And he said, "Can I call you later?" And I went, I guess, if there's something that you need. Like, that's...
Well, we know what he needs.
Well, so then I don't hear from him, which is great, because I actually went home and texted my friend, and I was like, this motherfucker's going to call me.
I made a mistake.
Talk to him. Don't hear from him for a couple of months. 11:15 at night on Christmas.
Yeah.
He texts me, "Merry Christmas." Then the second text, "From your neighbor," because I didn't have his number. I didn't know who it was. The first text. I don't see it until like an hour later when I'm going to bed. And I look at the phone as I'm plugging it in. I see the text. I said, "Hey, Merry Christmas back." Plug the phone and go to bed. When I wake up, I see a message from him at 2 a.m. that says, same. And then another message that says, "How are you doing?" Motherfucker, it is 2 a.m. Let me tell you how I'm doing. I am sleeping. So I just never responded to him.
Lonely drunk guy giving you a couple text messages at 2 a.m.
Yeah, no. Even if he was somebody I would in everyday life be attracted to, which he is not, I'm not fucking with the guy who lives across the street, because when that goes bad, he lives across the street.
Yeah, because he can just walk across the street and get angry at you and break windows.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to drive from the next town over.
Fucking with that. Texting me at 2 a.m. Sir, I am an adult.
So speaking of that, Chris, I held off. I sent Jess a text on, I think it was Friday. No, Thursday maybe.
Okay.
I held off for so long. I think I held off to like my time, 9:05, which would be 8:05 Jess's time.
You didn't text me. You called me.
And I called. Yes, of course I called, because I'm old. I realize that young people text, or young-minded people text. Old fucks like me call.
I think he just called me immature.
Called Jess at 8:05, her time. I haven't even I've only had one sip of coffee.
I think what I said was, "It's so early though."
You did. And she had the voice though that was that was 5 packs a day cigarette morning voice. It's so early.
So you make that call and you're trying to figure out why you're talking to Beatrice Arthur on the phone.
She sounded so, it was just incredible.
God will get you for this, Wally.
I think, it's funny you say that because I was watching a roast with B. Arthur in it, and that's exactly what she said in the roast. I'm going to get you for this.
The funniest roast I saw with B. Arthur, it was one of them, oh God, I forgot the guy who was there. One of the Jeff Ross? Is that Jeff Ross? Is that one of them?
Oh, he's
Jeff
funny
Ross.
as fuck in the roast.
Yeah, he's at every roast.
They were talking about somebody, and B. Arthur was there. And it says, God almighty, a woman's so ugly, I wouldn't fuck her with B. Arthur's dick.
Yeah.
And you turn around, and B. Arthur's there pointing her finger at Jeff going, no, no, no.
Some of those people are pretty good at on those roasts.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But nothing will top fucking Rickles roasting George Burns. Shit like that we used to see 40 years ago.
Those, that whole group, because they're all such friends. Rickles and Martin and that's just that whole Joey Bishop, all those fucking guys.
Right.
Like, old guys, nobody knows who they are anymore.
Yeah.
Say Joey Bishop in a crowded room, say, huh? Who? I mean, it's the Rat Pack and the extended Rat. There was the extended Rat Pack as well. I think, was Burt Lancaster in that group too?
He might have been. I can't remember.
I think he was an extended Rat Packer as well. But those fucking guys, but they were thick as thieves. None of them talked about, it's not like today where people talk shit about each other 10 minutes after they're not friends anymore. No. And then they're talking shit. Those guys, those guys took fucking secrets to the grave. Mm-hmm. Like they know where Sinatra had bodies buried. You for sure know that they know. And that Rickles and Sinatra are sitting around plotting against others.
Yep.
Having them with them and Maya Lansky burying people in Vegas. It was happening. It was happening.
Meyer Lansky.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, of course, a pal, a Jewish compatriot. It's a friend of Could you imagine being in the mob or being in the family? What kind of life would that have been?
See, I am so obsessed with mafioso shit.
Are you?
It's just because I like The Sopranos, I like Godfather and
right.
Goodfellas and that sort of shit. So, I mean, I love it just because you never know who you see and what the way of life is going to be. You just never know what it is. And I have a friend that used to own the bowling alley with me. This guy Carmelo, and Carmelo.
That
Sicilian.
sounds like a made man.
And I say to Carmelo, we're joking around. He got an accent like this. He talk, because he new to America. In 1976 he got his naturalization, but he still talk like this. I'm like, okay. So, says, hey, Carmelo, hey, the mafioso. He said, yeah, the mafioso in that way, things happen. And I said, yeah, with the mafia. And he said, yeah, there's some things. They said, yeah, La Cosa Nostra. And he goes, we don't talk about that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Everything else is funny until La Cosa Nostra. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, I would have been whacked for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely.
I don't know. Wally, you lived in Rome, New York, and you lived to tell about it.
Listen, Rome, New York, there was some shit going down in that city.
For sure there was.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Rome, New York, there was, because that's whenever, always, and I knew it only after I'd been there for a couple of weeks that I figure out that whenever they said on Law and Order, they're burying somebody upstate, they're going to Utica.
Yep.
And we knew friends, and we actually worked with somebody whose brother owned a bar called Goodfellas in Utica.
There you go.
Yeah. And shit happened. Shit went down. Shit was going around. I don't know. Just for the record, I don't know what was going down. I don't know any names.
I never saw a thing.
those radio stations up. They would give updates on, the cinder block prices. WTLB news time is 12:03. Cinder blocks are on the rise today.
Let me say, there was a lot of garbage men that lived in that area.
Yeah.
Lot of folks working in the waste management industry. A good portion of folks working in waste management and in law enforcement.
My landlords were straight off the boat.
Yeah.
Well, they were the mayor's parents. Mayor Joe, what's his name?
Yeah. I just forgot Joe's name. Joe. So for some reason, Ciprielli keeps coming to mind. It's not Ciprielli. It's Joe. It's a cuss something. Joe.
Oh, it's Joe Cuntlooter. Yeah.
No, it was Joe, but Bo. I just can't think of it right now. But it began with a C. He was a good Italian boy, right?
Hold on,
Joe.
Fusco.
What is it?
Was it Joe Fusco?
No, it was not Fusco.
All right, hold on. Oh no, that was later.
No. Are you sure you're not confusing real life
Joe Griffo
with the movies?
Oh yeah, right, Joe Griffo.
Because this sounds very Animal House, like Carmine DePasto, running the town of Faber.
Well, one of the people we worked with, that same person who had a brother that owned a bar, also had a dad who was a cop.
Oh, Joe Griffo's a senator now.
He is?
Yeah.
A state senator?
Yeah. Assistant minority leader.
Really? Oh, yeah. So he's a Republican. That makes sense, right? He's a Republican.
Let's see.
And all of those guys, all those mayors and stuff, all the Italian ones,
Republican.
they all look the same, and that's not a racist thing, but they all look like Cesare De Nova. Every single one of them does.
Wait, who?
The guy that was in Animal House, the mayor in Animal House, Cesare De Nova. Yeah, they all look like him.
Well, he did not age well.
Joe didn't?
No.
He's looking rough. Oh no, honey, I'm talking about Joe Griffo, the mayor of Rome, New York. I said Joe, and Jody went, "What? Yeah." You're like, yeah. I think I've said this before. I do not have a pet name or a term of endearment for my wife. I just call her Jody or Jode. I do not call her honey or sweet cheeks or legs or hey big titties, come here.
Oh my God. That. It's the reverse here. If I say Jenna Lynn, she knows that there's a problem.
Really?
I have to say sweetheart, baby doll, angel tits, whatever, something like that.
Angel tits.
Yes.
Hey, angel tits, come here. Come here, you little snapper. Come over here. Come on. Yeah, no, I have. It's not my way. I for whatever reason, I know people say it all the time. They have pet names for their significant partners, but no, not me. Hey, I'm going to share something with you guys. Just not homophobic at all.
Oh, I love when a conversation starts this way.
No, not homophobic. But
I don't want to be racist, but
I'm not a racist at all.
No, listen. When you're watching a show, when you're watching something on television, and there's suddenly kissing, of same-sex kissing, I don't like same-sex kissing because, well, the reason why, because now it seems obligatory. It seems like there has to be same-sex kissing, men or women, for some reason. An obligatory insert into the story.
Well, why is there opposite sex kissing?
Well, because that's what God intended.
Well, I don't know why there's opposite sex kissing.
Man and woman kissing should happen. That's what should happen. There's no
controversy surrounded by the 90%. It's the 10%. When they put the 10, because they always create a controversy with that. Like that's why I don't like it, because you're like, yeah, they're going to create a controversy because of it. That's why I don't like it, because that's where they're going to go with the story. Somebody's going to be.
It's almost
chastised.
Like controversies happen around same-sex kissing in real life.
No, I don't chastise anybody because they're gay or deny anybody a job because they're gay.
No, but that happens.
Well, I think so, but not as overtly.
Yes, as overtly.
Wally,
are you kidding?
I'm in Frederick, Maryland. Let's all remember that. Okay.
Well, I'm in Maine.
And I think Jess would come along and tell you the same thing, that somebody would call the request line if we were talking about this and saying, I don't know about that open faggotry on the TV. I don't think that's right. Am I right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah. And from here in Tennessee, where we have bills prohibiting people from living their lives the way they want to live them, yeah, people do approach people on the street who are kissing the same sex and yell at them and threaten them for it.
They do?
Yes.
Well, see, so I live in a different world.
Yes, you apparently do.
We don't have that.
Heterosexual white man.
I have never seen anybody yell at somebody on the street here for kissing somebody of the same sex.
Well.
And I thought Maine was pretty conservative. I guess not. I
can't speak to Maine conservatism. All I can tell you is that I live in Tennessee.
Golly. I'm living in some sort of fucking liberal mecca, I guess.
I think Chris has been trying to tell you that for a while.
Well, yeah. And I think it's not that liberal in Maine.
Well, maybe.
I guess that's my Vermont
maybe compared to Fredneck in Tennessee.
Fredneck. I thought that's where Chris lives, in Fredneck.
He does.
Mm-hmm. Fredneck, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's my Vermont, Massachusetts side of me that says, well, Maine's a little conservative. I guess it's not.
No, you don't see a lot of political maps with Maine blinking red, do you?
No, Maine I think is half red, half blue usually.
Yeah, I'm thinking blue usually wins.
Yeah, I think it's in the. I think they voted for Donald Trump. Well, no. So here's Maine splits its electoral votes. Our 4 electoral college votes. 2 go to each if one wins. If there isn't a 50-50 or somehow it works, each person will get 2 instead of somebody getting all 4 of our big electoral college votes.
That's how the electoral college should work everywhere. Okay, this is just bullshit that a bunch of hillbillies can take over an entire state, or a whole bunch of
I happen to agree with you.
People like you take over a state. It's like one of the two. It could go either way.
I think the electoral college is fucked up, and I think it should be popular vote. End of discussion. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Yeah. One man, one woman, one vote. Now that we've given women the right to vote.
That is true.
And we're barely hanging on to it at this point.
That is true as well.
Yeah.
Trump 2024.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're about to try to pull you guys out. Okay? No more women votes, no more black voting.
Pretty soon I'm going to have to find a man to come live in my house with me to allow me out in public.
I was watching.
Get that guy across the street.
Oh, thank God for him. Yeah.
I was watching a show, a TV show called The Village, and a woman was getting married, and she was a teacher, and the law was, it's in England, the law was that once a woman got married, she could no longer be a teacher. This is in like 1916, right around World War I, 1914 to 1918, right in that time frame. And the world, can you imagine that? Once a woman gets married, she can't be a teacher?
You were in 4th grade then, Wally. So what happened? Did you get a new teacher or what?
Okay, you fuck.
That's me, the fuck.
I'm old, but I ain't that old.
When I had to sign all my mortgage paperwork, and this made me laugh harder the first time I did it. The second time I was just like, whatever, sign everything. But one of the pages says, name of buyer, comma, an unmarried woman, comma, agrees to blah, 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 blah.
It actually said that?
It says it on the deed. Yep.
An unmarried woman?
Yep.
That's a Tennessee deed for you right there.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yep.
Get the fuck out.
I mean, think about it. It's been in my lifetime that we've been allowed to own property on our own and get credit cards and own whatever we want.
You are listed in the Tennessee Nashville City Records as is just right. Unmarried homeowner.
An unmarried woman. Yep.
Unbelievable.
I was like, the first time I saw it, I was like, does that really have to be on there? And the woman was like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you were a lesbian, would it say just right? Unmarried lesbian?
I don't know that they dig that deeply into your personal life. Just your finances.
I don't know.
Just your finances. I'm an unmarried woman, and I managed to scrape together enough money to buy a house all by myself without any man helping me.
Hey, maybe you could have gotten a better tax break if you clicked the button that said lick a lot of puss. I don't know. Maybe you could.
I don't believe they're giving those tax breaks in the state of Tennessee, Chris.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. You can't live your white life the way you want to there.
You say you can't live your white life?
That's right.
Well, I didn't say it, Wally. You heard what you wanted to, and that also holds true. Okay,
you can't live your white life that way.
But is she gonna live her Asian life though the way she wants to? That's for sure.
That's common in Tennessee. Yeah, people who are Asian living however they want to live.
Yeah, what?
What is the Asian population? What is the Asian population of Tennessee?
I have not done a census recently, so I'm not sure.
Well, let me look online real quick. Let me go ahead and type in
four Asians in the whole state.
Let's see in Tennessee.
I like that song. Arrested Development.
Tennessee.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, Assyrians and Pacific Islanders make up 2.6.
2.6%. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine why there wouldn't be more feeling welcome here.
The number one rank, 8.2% in Bell Buckle, Tennessee. Where the fuck that is?
Belt buckled?
Bell.
Belt buckle, Tennessee.
I don't know exactly where Bell Buckle is, but I know it's in the viewing area of our Nashville TV stations because I have seen their weather stuff.
But would you at all be surprised if the town was really called Belt Buckle?
There probably is a Belt Buckle somewhere.
Belt Buckle, Tennessee.
Although they probably would have stole that name from Texas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perhaps.
What states have the highest Asian population? You'll know number one and number two.
New York, California.
What is California? I would guess California, New York, and Hawaii.
California and New York. What is number three?
Not Hawaii?
No. Number three is Texas. Wouldn't have picked that one.
Is that only so I thought they grouped Asians with Pacific Islanders.
Yeah.
Well, when they do Asian American, but largest with Asian total, Hawaii leads, and then California, and then New Jersey.
Absolutely. New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Wow. Look at the Northeast carrying some weight.
Look at us learning stuff on Cheese Wits.
I know. What did this become? What is this? Mensa-wits? Cheese Mensas. It's cheese Mensas.
We're going to be mistaken for Mensa any week now.
We'll be mistaken for Mensa when we're all talking about fucking Katie Heron in the new Mean Girls movie that's out.
I would say, okay,
which I've heard is slightly less mean.
It's slightly less mean. It's a little different. Still has some of the people in it, but it's a fucking musical. Like I need to see fucking Grease with fucking Tina Fey, you know?
Yeah. So I'm going to say something. I think Tina Fey is overrated.
I used to think Tina Fey was hot.
I like Tina Fey a lot.
I would say hot. I didn't say I didn't like her. I did not say that. But I think that again, raised up high on a pedestal for reasons other than because there's a ton of funny people.
Yeah.
I don't know that she's the funniest woman available.
But I think part of what she gets raised up for is her writing as much as probably even more so than her acting.
Yeah, maybe. Because of what did she wrote? She head writer for SNL.
Head writer for SNL. She wrote 30 Rock. She wrote Mean Girls. She wrote a book called Bossy Pants.
She wrote Mean Girls?
Yeah.
Like Mean Girls, the movie?
Yeah.
The original. I don't know it.
Yeah.
I just who was in? I don't know that movie. I don't know.
It's not for you.
Oh, it's not. Who's it for? People like you, Mean Girl.
It was for me.
It was for
I
Chris.
enjoyed it. Lindsay Lohan is in it. Rachel McAdams is in it.
Ooh, Rachel McAdams. Hello.
So what's the other? Lacey Chabert. And I don't remember the other one.
I don't either.
Rachel McAdams. She's not in enough.
But
movies.
really, it was targeted to anybody who was ever a girl in high school.
Look,
or boys who experienced the other end of Mean Girls. I guess.
Or
Rachel
boys who like
McAdams.
looking at Rachel McAdams.
Is Rachel McAdams not a cute girl?
Oh, she is the hottest thing ever, and looked even better with dark hair in Wedding Crashers. Holy shit, smoke! Beautiful girl.
Holy shit, smokers! Who are these people?
These are it. She was something else. God damn.
I'm gonna have to. I gotta look up Mean Girls with Rachel McAdams right now.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Rachel McAdams. Enter. Oh, I don't. Oh no, this is. They're showing me the cast from Teen Vogue original Mean Girls cast poses with new Mean Girls cast.
No, that's not what you want.
Rachel McAdams. No.
Mean Girls original came out in 2004.
They're pitiful looking. Rachel McAdams.
Search Mean Girls original.
Rachel's just smoking.
Yeah, she is. She so is. Great smile. Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah,
that's the other one. Yeah.
Lacey Chabert. Yeah, there you go. And Lindsay Lohan. She's a wreck.
You know who's beautiful but is a real cunt?
Me.
You know who else is beautiful but a real cunt?
Jess, you're so beautiful,
man. What a cunt! What a cunt! Katherine Heigl.
Oh yeah, yes, she is beautiful. But the word of anything I've read about her is that she's a total cunt.
Yeah. She came to an interview one day and was a total cunt, and I lasted about 40 seconds with her.
I hear that.
Which I would
more acting roles.
Listen, if I was banging her, I'd also last 40 seconds with her. So I mean, it was pretty.
I'm not sure you'd last long enough to get your pants unbuttoned.
You're telling me. Matter of fact, I just came. I just now.
You'd be praying. I hope I have sweats on, so at least I can get my pants down. If you have the opportunity, I don't want to have a belt buckle or zippers or anything. I just want something I can just throw down quickly.
Katherine Heigl looks at me and I just go,
I'm tired. I'm going to sleep.
That's it.
Thank you.
That's it. I did.
Yeah, she is a God blessed good looking woman, but I have read that she is a complete twat.
Yes.
That's too bad. But that's what happens to a lot of folks. Like we talked about this one time about artists we have met who have these huge fucking careers on the horizon and then just fucking blow it because they're dickheads. And the people that we've met. I think the one that I brought up was Josh Caddison, who I think
really beautiful in my eyes is an asshole.
When
he was a complete asshole.
Wow.
He was an absolute asshole, which is not surprising that he didn't.
Sad.
Yeah, because he fucking that guy had a chance of being fucking huge. Because he had the right kind of. He wrote his own music, wrote his own songs. He had the right fucking skill set.
Think about that. He could have been the next Mark Cohn.
He was a good, Mark Cohn. There's another guy. I never met him, but I bet he was an asshole. I bet he was a complete dickhead.
The Wreckers were dicks to some of my listeners.
Oh, the group? Yeah,
Michelle Branch, when she got together with Jessica Harp, and they made a duo called the Wreckers in country. And they were just starting in country, and they came over from pop, which is a different everything. Like just the way that you interact with your audience in country is different. And nobody told them that. So this was when I was up in Pennsylvania. I had some listeners who won tickets from our station and backstage passes to Meet the Wreckers. And the deal was that in order for me to be allowed to give away backstage passes, I had to agree to accompany them back. And so I did that, unfortunately, for the Wreckers.
Christ.
And my listeners were first in line, and the two girls came out from their green room or whatever, and they were standing here like in front of this line of fans. And as they're signing autographs, they're not talking to the fans at all. They're not looking at the fans at all. They're looking at each other and talking to each other and looking over their shoulder and talking to the people behind them. But they're not actually acknowledging the fans that are standing in front of them. And that happened to be one instance where the record rep was not there. She had to leave and catch a flight. And so she was actually driving. She was on her way to the airport. And I walked out of that meet and greet and I called her and I was like, somebody needs to tell these bitches this is not how it's done in country music.
Yeah.
Maybe this is how you do it in pop. This is not how you do it in country music.
Oh, well, you know that's how it's done in pop. But country music is much more, country artists are much more accessible to their fans than pop artists are.
Yeah, for sure. But these fans they had never met anybody famous before. Apparently, probably still haven't because nothing happened with the Wreckers.
Because the Wreckers ain't famous.
That's right. Which is a shame because their album that they put out was really good.
Yeah, well.
But they were not nice.
No, it's amazing how people blow their career by being fucking too big too fast.
Yeah.
Or acting too big for their britches too fast.
Yeah.
You'll make hundreds of millions of dollars if you placate the listener.
I mean, look at Garth Brooks. Look at Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, when she was a nobody, was signing autographs for 13 hours straight at fanfare until the very last person had gotten their autograph.
Yeah, Garth Brooks is that way too. He's a stick around till the last fucking person goes home.
Yep.
And he's fucking very. So whenever I read anything about him, and just because I have the personal knowledge about him, he's just an engaging motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
He's just he pays attention to who's in the audience.
Yep.
He interacts with them genuinely, not in a pre sort of done. Okay, in two stanzas in on the fourth song of the second set, I'm going to stop down and do this. That's not his gig. His gig is like fucking. He sees a sign. Jody's told me many times she's been at shows, and he'll see a sign that he particularly likes in the audience. That he fucking points it out, stops, talks with people about it, and they're not signs that fucking the promoters make and hand out to people.
Right.
You bring signs in. My fucking wife is always, whenever she would go to shows, she hasn't been in a few years, I think 4 or 5 years, always bringing signs. Always. Her and her sister always fucking. They think they're so clever and they're sign making. they're clever girls and they're sign making. But man, he's just an engaging guy.
Yeah.
And that's how you fucking last forever.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get divorced in country music. That's how you get divorced and still remain relevant. Because I think a lot of times that's one of those things when you have a divorce in your thing, unless you're George Jones, people sort of go, "Where's the family?" Oh. Country music's family oriented.
Is that what happened with Vince Gill?
I think Vince is doing just fine.
Yeah, he does. I read about him every now and again. Doesn't he do a lot of God shows? Does he do a lot of Christian?
He's on the coattails of Amy Grant, isn't he?
No, he's doing his own thing. I mean, first of all, in addition,
you never hear about him anymore.
He did spend the last several years playing with this little band called the Eagles.
Who are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they new?
Yeah. It's this new rock band. Yeah.
Oh, rock.
Yeah. So he did spend the last few years playing with the Eagles, but he also, in addition to recording his own stuff and just doing, making the kind of music he wants to do because he realizes he's not relevant to radio anymore.
Yeah. He does a lot of bluegrass, doesn't he?
He does bluegrass. He does. I mean, basically Vince Gill can do anything he wants and he's fine, but he also supports the shit out of new artists. He plays on their records. He'll play instrumental. He'll sing backup. I've seen him at shows, whether it's at the Opry or Country Radio Seminar, where he will sit side stage, where other artists would be back in the green room or in their dressing rooms or whatever. Vince will sit side stage with just focused attention on the people who are performing. He is a true artist and lover of music. It's really cool to see.
The other thing I sort of know about him is he doesn't mind when he's performing with up and comers or something. He doesn't mind sitting in the back and doing his thing.
No, he doesn't mind at all.
He doesn't mind playing and adding his whatever his part is, whether it's doing a backup vocal for somebody.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he supports the new artists as much as anybody, and he's never going to be one of those fucking guys. It pisses me off when Alan Jackson does this, because I love Alan Jackson. When they want to say that what's being made today isn't real country. You know what? Fuck you. Yes, it is.
Well, so Alan Jackson was sort of part of that 80s. Is it country? Is it not country?
Exactly.
He was country.
Exactly.
But he was part of that 80s movement that was, I don't know if it's really country anymore.
Yeah.
And what it was country. It just wasn't country and Western.
Yeah.
They took the Western out.
Because all music evolves, because every generation, this is my theory anyway, every generation of people making music have a bigger range of influences to learn from. And so few people stick with listening to just one genre of music anymore, that of course country artists are going to be influenced by rap and pop and rock.
Who did I send you a note about on last week? Who was I listening to? I was fucking listening to somebody he just fucking was fucking kicking ass.
I can't remember who it was. I can look it up.
He's similar. Oh, he's similar to I always ask you this. Who sang the national anthem?
Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, I was doing
you are not going to compare. No, sir. No. Because it was Tyler Hubbard. You are not comparing Tyler Hubbard.
Hold on. I said play Chris Stapleton song on the whatever her name is, and his song came up. His music came up in that genre of music.
You were talking about Tyler Hubbard.
Yeah, Tyler. So his song came up in that genre of music, and it's sort of that particular song I was listening to sort of started there, but then it fucking goes off.
Mm-hmm.
He goes off.
Yeah,
it's like fucking that. The guy was kicking ass.
Yeah, that's a good song.
And I like that kind of shit.
Chris, he's talking about Tyler Hubbard's song 5'9".
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
The guy from Florida Georgia line. He's the Georgia one.
He's the Georgia one. See, Jess is so far beyond what we can add to this whole thing. I have no idea. So Daphne was in the car the other day, and she was asking me to play Nicki Minaj.
Well,
now,
Chris, I'm picturing Wally jamming out to Nicki Minaj in the car.
Well, I know who Nicki Minaj is.
Absolutely.
I knew she sang. She had a lot of blue language and blue lyrics in her music.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sort of hesitant to play her music for Daphne, but she doesn't want to listen to car talk. So I said, all right.
Weird.
That fucking woman is nothing but fucking pussy, snatch, fuck, pussy, snatch, fuck. That's all she sings.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine Wally going down the road to wet ass pussy?
Singing along.
I know the music. I don't necessarily like the music, but I know the music. I'm not offended by it. I recognize it as art, but god damn, that woman knows more cuss words than I know. Or no, she doesn't know more cuss words than I know, but she knows more words for snatch than I do, for sure. Some of those words she uses, like, what? You can call it that? What? And it brought some things to light, because I've heard some of those terms used in public in certain places, like, oh, that's what they were talking about. Oh, I get it now. It's the music is just so changed.
Well, that's what it does.
the topics of music have changed. No, the topic hasn't changed. The topic is still about getting laid and having sex, and man, them songs have been there.
It's just more specific now.
Right. The language is much more specific and to the point. They're not very artsy with the music. They just get right to it.
Mm-hmm.
They just go right. They just get, hey, bang this pussy. That's what they say now. What they used to say is some sort of, tree in the forest shit. It was much more artsy and take you 2 lines to get there.
I totally wish I was still dating so I could fucking skip the bullshit dinner and go, what the fuck?
Yeah. Right. I was watching a movie. I can't tell you. I don't know what the movie was, but the guy was basically saying, he said, hey, listen, here's $100. Let's just forget about the dinner and the movie afterwards. I'm going to give you the money that would cost for that. Can we just go fuck?
That's
prostitution.
Right?
Prostitution. Yeah.
But it's I think that was his point. If I go buy you dinner and we do a movie and then we fuck, what's the difference than if I just give you $100 and we do it?
That makes it sound like the only reason a woman would fuck him is because he bought her something.
I don't have 4 hours. So can we just cut this down to a half hour?
Maybe if he had something to offer besides $100, he could save $100 and get laid.
Jess,
it's
a movie. It's a parody.
Yeah, it's real life though.
Right. Yeah.
Of course it's real life, but it's real life on both sides.
Is it?
Look, somebody wants to take me out to dinner and give me $100 to fuck. Okay.
Of course it is.
We can skip dinner. It's not a problem. Now, if you find that girl that would give me $100, I would like to go ahead and email customer complaints at cheesewits.com.
Wait, I'm trying to remember. When was the last time I was offered money for? Yeah, no. I can't think of a time when I was ever offered money for that service. I've been offered money to stay away. Here's $100. Don't call me. Go get a different phone plan. Lose my number.
I had a guy in Alabama that worked for me that was smoked himself to death 20 years ago, but we didn't pay him a lot of money. I was like, Todd, how are you getting your cigarettes? You're coming in here with a carton every day. Like, well, me and this lady, we go back to her bed and do things, and she buys me cigarettes. Okay, Todd, you go back to her bed and do things. What do? Ballet? What the fuck are you two doing?
He's giving her hospital corners on her sheets.
Exactly.
You know what? Somebody sent me a link the other day to a job, and I'm not sure if they thought that I would want to apply for the job or if they just sent it to me to laugh at, because it was an internet radio thing. I can't remember the name of the company, but not one of like the major radio companies or anything. And they were talking about how they have all of these various stations and they need to hire somebody on this specific country station, and it had this list of requirements in order to apply for the job. And then it said, we're working on building funding, but to start, this position pays in stocks.
Yeah,
stocks. Oh.
And I was like, oh, sure. Hang on one second. Let me call up the bank and make sure they're going to take your fucking stock for my mortgage payment.
Wow.
So I got to tell you, if I was working in radio, if I had a paying radio job where I might be able to do that, fucking, wouldn't it be crazy if it turned out to be the next iHeart? Even if they go bankrupt, you're going to make a fucking shitload of money off that bankrupt stock.
Wally, I got to tell you, the likelihood is the same likelihood as me having a fucking 13-inch dick.
Oh, for sure. Well, both of those things are very true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Because
I mean, I feel like my time is more valuable than maybe someday.
Yeah, well,
because that's actual work and effort time.
I wish I had owned some Amazon stock back then when I had an opportunity to buy it.
But you wouldn't have had to deliver for Amazon for free in order to profit off
no,
of that
probably
stock.
not. No, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a radio media company ever becoming a viable multi-billion dollar profit making machine again. I can't. Internet or not. I can't imagine that becoming a reality. Could it? Of course it could, but is it likely? Well, I don't think so. I really don't. I just don't see it happening, because Look at fucking Sirius XM. Do you know what their stock sells for? I think the Sirius XM stock is about $4 a share. Might be less. You probably look that up.
I think that's about $3 more than the stock sells that for the company I work for.
but they're considered a huge success, and they're still a money loser. They still aren't, as far as I know, profitable.
No, most of the streaming music services are not profitable.
No, hell no.
Well, and hell, Sirius is paying what? One guy $120 million over 5 years.
Yeah, but he is worth it.
Well, look, he's a great interviewer, but is he really worth it? Because they're not making that money.
No, but I think because the rest of what they air is shit.
Yeah.
They have a lot.
You, sir, have not listened to the Yacht Rock channel, okay?
I have absolutely listened to Yacht Rock.
And you, sir, have not listened
Bertie Higgins.
To Prime Country with my friend Mike Terry. You certainly have not listened to that.
I have listened to that. I've listened to the countdown with Shadow. Is it not is it Shadow?
Oh, you mean Shadow or JJ Walker, whichever channel he's using his name on?
Right. There you go. Yeah, and using that old time voice. At number 15 this week.
If I had pipes like that guy. All right, number 15 this week here on the survey, we're going to have chlamydia. All right.
I think the best part of his delivery of that show is he's still using old radio jokes.
Uh-huh.
It's old school 80s, 90s radio. You know what he's going to say jokes, which are just defend with the fake with a fake laugh. It's absolutely fucking fantastic. It really, and those fucking old fucking guys, those old farts, they are so much better than just about anybody else on live local radio. Mm-hmm. And did you guys check this out on Facebook when people were sort of mocking the most recent bankruptcy? Who was it?
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Yeah, yes. Odyssey bankruptcy. People were posting on there, be kind, don't relish in this.
Oh God, I saw that exact one.
Like,
my friend Lance wrote that.
Well, you know what? Fuck you. Because half those fucking part-time fucking readers, those voice trackers, took jobs from legitimate radio people.
Mm-hmm.
They're what made it possible for people like Odyssey to fire real radio industry people and get a part-time voice tracker to come in and do a whole week in 30 minutes. Fuck that.
Well,
they get what you deserve. And what are you talking about? There's nobody making a living voice tracking. What is the voice track for a whole week if you did a whole week of voice tracking, what are they paying you? $50? $60?
I used to charge $500 a month, but that was 20 years ago.
I think when I was at FRE and I added on the station up in Harrisburg, I did middays for them for $200 a month, but I wasn't living.
Oh my God.
That.
Well, I mean, Chris, she's a woman. Come on.
Well,
You're not going to pay a woman what you pay a man.
Listen, I understand that, and that's fine. But I mean, listen, and it's not like she has to get to the polling place.
Oh,
no,
so
right.
It's and I understand that. It's fine. Jess.
No, because I got permission from a man. He's going to drive me there and everything.
Wally, does she have any shoes in her house? Because she's supposed to be barefoot and pregnant, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And I don't see her doing much cooking. I hear her a lot of she's one of them new 80s ladies. She orders food out. She don't cook.
You guys.
Oh man, she's gonna go to the Wendy's Super Bar. That's what she's gonna do.
Guys, I ordered food the other night, and this delivery driver practically threw the food at me and ran away because my little dog was standing behind me. She wasn't barking or growling or even trying to get to the door. My little pitty in a hoodie. She's wearing a hoodie. She's wearing a little hoodie. She's the cutest little thing. He's terrified. I don't know if it's because she's a pit bull or he's just afraid of dogs, but he saw her. He stopped. His eyes got real wide. He almost threw the food at me and then just turned around and like looked back over his shoulder as he ran back to his car to make sure this dog was not coming after him.
And I thought this story was going to go a total another way, that you're going to say the food delivery guy shows up and says, yes, is the man of the house here. Jesus.
That's so good.
At which point Jess pulls out her cock and says, yes.
Right.
That's so good. Now, what were you saying about the voice tracking pay, Chris?
No, I mean, $500 a month 20 years ago, I was charging.
I think it's less now.
Well, I mean, look, if you work for, the fart company, then yeah, probably. I mean, and even when I was working for Odyssey or Entercom, whatever they called them fucking selves, I was down in DC programming a station, and I was on the air every afternoon in Baltimore, and I didn't get anything else.
Yeah.
That was just it. That's just what I did.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there are fucking a million people who think and do voice track radio stations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I just think there's so many. They're paying them $15, $20 a show.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it.
Yeah.
They're not making fucking big money.
By the way, I saw in my Facebook memories today that it was in 2000. It would have been
in the
2009. 2009 is when we got back the first ratings after I took over as PD. And I didn't say what demo it was, and I don't remember what demo it was, but we had a 38 share in some demo. A 38 share.
Wow, 38 among Jewish dentists who prefer classical music. Very good.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a demo to win.
Not bad,
fucking
right?
Awesome. Can you imagine a 38 share?
A 38.
Well, I mean, we did that in the afternoon. I mean, come on.
But that was, I don't know. That was not for sure. For sure, it was not 2554. It was no. It was probably 3564.
Well, but that was the station the old people listened to, in addition to the young people listening to it. You got the young people back in. The old people listen to FRE because there's fucking nothing else other than fucking Bob Miller.
Yeah.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, stations would kill. Stations will kill for fucking a 10 share.
Yeah. When I took over, I think 2554, I think the station had like a 13 or a 15 or something, and the GM told me he wanted a 20, and I got it for him.
Before you took over, Key 103 had beaten FRE a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a little, by the way, Wally, FRE's 50,000 watts from the top of a mountain, and Key 103 was like 1,100 watts from the top of a phone pole. Okay.
And they were AC.
Yeah. And they were a weird brand of AC too. They were playing shit like India.re. I mean, it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
It was what was that, like a AAA AC or something?
Well, no, it was an AC that the music director, you know who I'm talking about, Mark.
Yep.
Yeah. Mark just fancied himself on being, a programmer and wanting to play, India.re and album cuts from Elton John, and
too clever for his own good.
But yet FRE was so bad before Jess took over. Did you take over from Lisa?
I did.
Okay, so after the troll left, Jess got that thing back on track, but Key 103 was just killing it by playing fucking Joan Arbitrating records.
Oh,
yeah.
That's Joan Arbitrating is rough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she's so angry.
Mm-hmm.
She's angry and hates men, and probably still is angry and hates men. Well, when Jess and I got to Utica, that it was the dead last station in the market, FM 50,000 watts, dead last, getting beat by 1,000-watt day night AM stations.
Yeah,
playing sports.
Yeah,
I believe it. Look, I had a station that was so bad in Raleigh. Okay, I had a 3,000-watt Class A thing doing classic hits, and before I got there, where the ratings were done before I got there, and I guess a month into me being there, the numbers came out, and my boss calls me in and says, "Hey, did you take a look at the ratings?" I say, "Yeah, I looked at some stuff. It's not my book." He says, "No, but the guy before you, look at this," and he's pointing to it. The day timer On AM 540, beat us at night. Figure that one out.
Wow.
Yeah.
At
You gotta love
5:40.
diaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Well, I buy. There's so much wasted radio space. I buy a couple of stations for my my marketing business. I buy some stations in New York, and they're Salem stations. They don't even draw ratings.
Christ, you buy 570 and
yep,
the other one?
You got it.
Okay.
AMC and NYM. And no, is it NYM? Yeah, NYM and
so 570 and 990.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't even draw ratings. And they're big signals.
Yeah. Yeah, but they have passionate listeners.
Well, that's it right there. So they have what they have is listeners who or they have advertisers, mainly people selling indulgences will pay for radio time.
Yeah, it's basically Wally's commercial next to the My Pillow guy.
You got it. So it's people buying indulgences or selling indulgences. Hey, I need a new airplane. We need a new jet down here in Florida. So I need you to send in some money and I'll say a prayer for you. That's basically their advertising. That and a lot of proctologists.
And the International Star Registry as well.
And also those stations also have a lot of gold. Buy gold. Because
yes,
money is fucking no good. You need to buy gold.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of the gold selling, and a lot of survival kit selling.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you need to get you this bucket of survival food, and you can also use it as a shit can.
you should go down there to Bath and buy that station my friend owned till he died recently. That was a great station.
Where is it? In Bath, Maine?
Yeah, I think 740 or 730 in Bath it's got a translator with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I should. If I had money, I would buy it.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. I radio in Maine is not. There's not money to be made.
There really isn't. That's why guy that I put the station together for, and it was licensed to Millbridge, but it was a down east station, and he made no money in it whatsoever. Wound up selling it to public radio.
I think the best way to make money now in a place like this is to sell time to listeners, not advertisers. Sell time to the French population. Come on in. I'm going to sell you an hour. Going to cost you $200. Do your French show.
Oh, you want to do brokered shit? All right.
Right. All brokered shit. You want to sell it to Somali? You want to do Somali radio? Come on in, do your Somali stuff, your Afrikaans radio, your whatever. Just cater to people who
that
maybe
could go right into the community file.
The whole fucking lot of it.
Yep.
You wouldn't have to do a goddamn thing except get a translator to help you figure out what the fuck they're saying.
Yeah.
We're gonna attack at midnight.
Jesus.
We're gonna kill the white man at midnight. He's fucking holding us up. No, I think that's what I would do. I would just broker the whole thing out in ethnic, because I never saw people so passionate about shit than people of ethnicity. Like when we did Polish shows, French shows, Armenian shows on different stations I've worked on, fucking passionate about the product. And every week you fucking, they paid you. They paid you on time. They paid you when they got there. They took care of everything.
Well, they didn't go on the air until they paid. They didn't get on the air.
Right. Yeah. They paid. And they had their own advertisers because people from the community paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like having religious programming on. The churches used to pay fucking big money to have a Marty in their church.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to broadcast, because they were broadcasting to the folks who was at home and couldn't come in today.
Oh, dude, we used to. I had a 1,000-watt station, okay, and we would, do the church shows.
Yeah,
got a new manager in there, okay, and he would convince churches, say, Well, you notice we got 3 towers out there all pointing at the Lord, so we're going to have to raise your price just a little. Yeah.
Oh, we used to fucking run shows, and the way I remember selling the one station I worked at, we'd sell them. Well, the Lutherans bought an extra show. You Baptists are going to have to, you don't want the Lutherans to have an extra show, do you? They bought an extra hour on Sunday. You really want the Lutherans to have an extra? No. We got the women in hats ceremony coming up next week. We're trying to put a new roof on the church. Well, the Lutherans are trying to put a roof on too. And if they've got 2 hours, you only got 1. Who you think's getting the roof first?
That's right.
I mean, that's really what you do. I mean, you go out there and you do that. I don't know if it's right or wrong. But it's just the way you got to do it. So I think that's what I do. I do all fucking brokered programming. I don't think that I would. And what serves the community better than that shit? You're serving the community very specifically in language and in interest.
Okay, so I had this radio station down in Annapolis, and having a hard time trying to sell it. And I told the general manager who was there before, and he was the liaison between the 2 companies. I said, I might have to turn this into a Spanish station or something, or sell it to, Spanish folks. And he says, well, if you read your contract, it says that we sold you the station at a reduced rate, so it would still be, serving the community at interest. I said, well, do you want to go on record as the representative of Pat Sajak saying that a Spanish station would not serve the community? Oh, well, yeah.
It's funny how people like that don't they would rather hold on to their whiteness, I guess I'm gonna say, than to do the right thing and make a dollar. They'd rather lose money and be white than make money and be Spanish.
I don't see what's wrong with it.
But it's true, right?
Absolutely. Jess, you got a kitchen to get to, don't you?
Chris, come here.
Hold on one second. Hold on. I'm trying to read what's on your shirt there. It says,
I just
I'm a fucking lady, and that means you need to be on your fucking bare feet in front of the fucking, magic chef and take care of things.
Yeah.
Magic chef. You get in front of that, Amanda, and you get to working.
That's it.
I want you to get that spiral slicer out and you start making some stuff.
Could you imagine being 1950s, in that kind of lifestyle and having Jess, and you come up in the kitchen and you give her a little slap on the ass and she just fucking punches you in your gullet?
Yeah, I imagine. Well, first of all, where would you slap her in the? Where would she be that you'd have the opportunity to slap her in the ass?
Well, she would be walking. No, she would be walking through the kitchen. Maybe.
I mean, we do keep the snacks in there.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
She'd be walking through the kitchen to get a snack.
Yeah, I would slap her ass as she's getting some gas station wine. That's what I would do.
Jess would be in a sitcom. Jess would be the one where the Ward Cleaver would say, "So what's for dinner?" And Jess would be turn back and go, "I don't know. What the fuck are you making?"
Right?
Yeah,
that would be it. It would really be Leave It to Beaver.
That would be a hit TV show.
That would be
the Beaver.
That would be hello. That would be excellent. That would be excellent. So what's for dinner tonight, June? I don't know. A big box of fuck, Wally? How about that?
Whatever the fuck you're making, shithead. But I was in the office all day. Yeah, so the fuck what? Now get in the fucking kitchen all night.
That's
bitch.
right.
That would be, maybe there you go. We need to start writing for Saturday Night Live. They need they need to do some skits like that. They need to do modern day Leave It to Beaver. And slap the old June Cleaver on the ass.
Now that you've put it out there, that shit's going to be on SNL next week because they're listening. Oh,
of course they are.
Yeah.
Someone's listening. They're going to have a throwback of old sitcoms, and you're going to have they'll finally show that Barney Fife. Because what could you do with Barney Fife? or you'll pull into the Jim Neighbor's gas station. Was he the gas guy?
Goober?
Yeah, Goober.
Yeah,
Goober
I
will
think
be
so,
making
yeah.
out with somebody, with a guy. They'll finally show that Goober's gay, and it'll be on the
Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait.
And then Wally's going to be uncomfortable because Goober's kissing his boyfriend.
No, that would make me laugh.
Are you going to tell us that Goober is of queer? Is that what you're going to tell us?
I'm going to tell you he
queer.
is.
Yes,
I'm going to tell you.
Goober is of queer. All right. Well,
but I think isn't queer now the word we're supposed to use?
I don't know what the cocksuckers want to be called anymore. I have no idea.
I believe queer encompasses more than just gay.
It encompasses the whole, I don't know what these genre.
So did I tell you about
the whole genre? Yeah,
the whole genre.
I don't think I ever told you this. We were buying some stations down in Chincoteague, Virginia.
Where?
And the Chincoteague, Virginia.
Okay.
And the deal never went through. And the guy that owned the stations, he, preferred the company of men, which is fine if you want to. Well, I'm with my friend Josh, who's just, an Alabama boy. And we're sitting there talking and we're asking for certain concessions in the deal. And, the guy was looking a little odd. And Josh didn't know about this guy's preference. And Josh says, well, listen, I don't want to ask for this. I mean, if this is going to queer the deal, then I don't need any of this. And I did this slow head turn like Stewie Griffin. Just turned like, what? And so the meeting was over about 5 minutes later. And I went out to the car and Josh sat down and I sat down and I turned on the radio and I looked over at him and I said, queer the deal? Are you out of your fucking mind? Queer the deal? And he said, well, just something you say. I said, okay. You say so.
Well, but your friend is kind of right.
Right.
But the words take on new meanings, and I don't know when they do. I mean, because
do the
I'm
words
so
take on new
from...
meanings, or do we just acknowledge the meaning they all already had?
No, I think queer initially meant, just not. I didn't mean gay, right?
It was just weird, wasn't it? Wasn't queer weird?
Queer was just sort of weird, not gay. I think queer became a derogatory term for being gay at some point.
Yeah.
Well, it was. It absolutely was.
Yeah.
Because queer meant weird, not what you're expecting. And so they said, oh, well, if you're gay, you must be queer because it's not what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah. I think they take words like that. So I'm so removed from pop culture. I don't know what's in and what's out. So I get myself in trouble.
Queer is an umbrella term for people who are not heterosexual or are not cisgender. However, it originally meant strange or peculiar. How about that?
There you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to strange the deal. I didn't want to peculiar the deal. It still doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't.
No, but but then again, it becomes a euphemism, right?
Hey, at the end of the day, the guy did queer the deal. So it's all right. It's okay.
I don't even know what terms to use. But not just for that kind of stuff. Just the language has gone into such a fucking weird direction on all kinds of shit, the way you say certain shit.
That's true, because now words mean what they don't mean anymore.
Absolutely.
Like the word literal now, because of millennials, also means not literally. Literally means not literally.
Yeah, and literally used to mean just written down. Right? It was literary. It was adjoined to that, but then it started to mean actually or some shit. Yeah. Yeah, I read that too, Jess. I read about the literal means not literal. I don't even fucking understand it.
No. It's like dictionary now, every year Merriam-Webster adds new words to the dictionary, and it's like they just take whatever slang and whatever people say and just put it in there. And what's the word that people,
Daniel Webster's not happy.
What's the word that people put irregardless is now a word, even though it's not a word.
Fuck irregardless.
Yeah, irregardless is not a fucking word, and they think it is a word.
Merriam-Webster put it in because millennials were saying irregardless.
There's
They
a
were
word,
they
and
were
I-
literally saying irregardless, and so literally irregardless is a word now.
there's a
Well-
word that means proficient. I forget what the fucking word, but I see it in wow, how did I end up way down there? What the fuck just happened? Anyways, it's something I see, and now I just see Jess. My thing is all wacky. Jess, I just see you.
Well, that's all you need to see.
Well,
Yeah,
and that's really all you need to see is Jess, because I mean, me,
But it's a
just
word I
picture.
see in resumes a lot, or used to see in resumes a lot. That means I'm proficient at something. I'm good at something. I'm forgetting the word right now. But people always fucking use the word that's not a word. It's and I can't think. I'll think of it as soon as we're done.
Oh, I'll look for that
Here.
text.
Yeah,
Well, with
it's
all
a
this
word.
weird stuff, I can't even.
Let's see, proficient.
I just can't. I was thinking about taking a trip to England, but now what if I want to smoke a fag? What happens then? What happens then?
Well,
See,
not that there's anything
Well-
wrong with that.
that's exactly right. There is nothing wrong with that if you want to smoke a fag. In either country. In either country, it's fine.
You're right.
I wish I knew what word you were talking about, Wally.
Yeah, I can't right now.
We need to
I
wrap
can't-
up this show.
I'm looking right now at synonyms, seeing if I can find it, and it's not qualified, competent, experience, inept. I wish someone would put that in a resume.
Wait,
It's not
inept is listed as a synonym for proficient? What
I'm
the
looking
fuck
right now,
is
let's see.
happening?
Synonyms for proficient, adept, trained, practiced. No, I guess that must be an antonym. Be careful to avoid antonyms. Oh, antonyms. Inept. I would love to see a resume that said, I'm inept.
Some of
I
them
have-
do. They just don't use the words.
I
They
have
just
no
show it
proficiency.
in examples.
I'm absolutely not proficient in this at all. At least it'd be being honest. All right. I guess we're done. Jody's making dinner. We're having steak tips and baked potatoes and what else are we having tonight? Steamed broccoli. Yummy.
Very good.
That sounds
Well,
delicious.
And Jody's gonna throw it at me. just like your guy.
That's enjoyable. Let's real quick before we go.
Mhm.
You know, the two things that I will offer to the show. What the hell ever happened to Dee Wallace? Remember her?
Yeah.
The hell happened? I mean, I know she turned into Dee Wallace Stone there for a while. But
Who is
whatever happened
that?
to her? She was on like a bunch of marginal 80s sitcoms.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look her up now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dee Wallace
I don't know.
Stone.
She's still alive. She is still alive. She's 75 years old.
Wow.
Well, maybe that's why I don't hear about her.
Well, it could be. I don't know who she is, what she's been doing. It's just like she disappeared after 1987.
Wally,
She was on
the
some
mom
show
in
with
ET.
Elliot Gould. Do what?
I was telling Wally, she was the mom in ET.
Yes.
And she was in
She
Cujo.
okay.
She was the woman in Cujo.
Ah, yes.
There
There you go.
Oh. I was still trying to. You know what I was doing? I was looking at my resume to see if I could find, because I use the word correctly, and I didn't find this fucking thing. Every time I open up, wants me to sign up for fucking Office One or some bullshit.
Ah, yes. That's fun.
What was your other thing, Chris?
It was just the joke
Oh, yeah.
that John Roth sent
Okay.
over to me. And my dad said that in the late 70s he had a secretary that was a lesbian, but she was awful at the job because she wouldn't take dictation.
Oh God. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Fantastic, Chris.
There you have it.
Talk
It's
to
a
you
good
next
time
week,
to
you
end
guys.
this show.